interviewed. Because you will see some things. You see some things, you see some gap. You want to know in depth. Then you now go back later to administer interview. You tell us in your write-up. So at that stage, anyone who is using explanatory or exploratory is not certain about either the sample of the interview, or the sample of the questionnaire. One will lead to another one. Yeah. One will allow you to determine the other. So the questionnaire you first administer will determine how many you want to interview. Or the interview you first administer will determine how many you want to give questionnaire to. Otherwise, so play safe. Use your pragmatism, use your concurrent, and go like that. Are we together? So once you are doing that, because the errors, Prof, that they are making here is that they will silent about the quantitative. Okay, Prof, your student you supervise, they use quantitative. Good. Listen, guys, thank God you are here. Your student use quantitative. Under the data analysis, they use descriptive and differential. Good. Why now that we are doing mixed method, you want to use descriptive alone? That's what they are doing. Because they are doing mixed method, they want to use descriptive alone. They are hiding under the interview and the thematic approach. It's wrong. In as much as a PhD cannot do quantitative and use only descriptive statistics without differential, the same thing once you are doing mixed method. You must use descriptive and differential statistic. You cannot just say, no, you cannot say you use descriptive alone. Otherwise, it's not acceptable.
Prof?
It's not acceptable. Yes, okay. Go ahead, please.
Sorry to come in, but I was checking the descriptive statistics and the inferential. And I think they are more or less the same, but the only difference is that with the descriptive, you deal with a small sample. Inferential, you deal with a bigger sample for generalization. So, for instance, in my work, I'm dealing with mixed method. So I used descriptive for quantitative. And then when we come to the interview, that one, because for the quantitative will be the descriptive. But then for the interview, you just use thematic analysis.
So you are making an error here.
Okay.
In fact, I'm talking to you in particular. That is a big error on your side to think that inferential is when you are using a big size. As long as you are using mixed method, your quantitative analysis outcome must be used to generalize. It must be used to generalize not only when you are doing quantitative alone. That's why we insist that you must state how is your population before you pick your sample, even with your mixed method. Many of you did not want to see that. You just want to say you pick certain number because you know those are the number who you will give interview and the questionnaire to. You assume no, you don't just pick on your own, because once you are doing mixed method or you are doing quantitative alone, anything